Welcome back to CSPN, and we've got a lot of things to cover. Today on the show, you're going to hear us talk about the amazing stories that God writes, including the stories on the national championship between Indiana and Miami.
Hoosiers football.
Yes, sir. That we were not talking about until 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, or the U in the national
I don't know
championship.
how many
I mean,
years.
yeah.
We're also going to cover why we shouldn't just be consumers in this sports, why it matters for us to participate, not just sit on the couch and flick the tube on.
Yep.
And lastly, are the Dodgers doing too much? Stay tuned to CSPN. All right, so on Monday, we had the college football championship between Indiana and Miami Hurricanes. The U, that's actually one of the best 30 for 30 doc. If ESPN did anything right, have you seen that?
On the U?
Yeah.
No.
The 30 for 30 documentary on the U is actually really, really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really cool.
History of the football program?
Yes, back in their heydays with Michael Irvin and like when they were just dirty and they were just fun but also like kind of cocky and arrogant but could back it up.
Yeah.
You know, like the villains that like really did do what they say they would. But it's been years. It's been many years since they've been relevant. And they pushed themselves back to relevancy with a 50-year-old 10th year quarterback transferred from I don't know how many different colleges. Yeah. Carson Beck. And then we have Fernando Mendoza.
Gray hairs all over the place.
Oh my gosh,
just
dude. I mean, if I could stay in college for 10 years and be in shape, like,
and I mean, we've talked a
manhandling.
lot about the NIL deals. I'm sure he's making great money now. He's like, how many can I get? Like a 9th year out of this, a 10th year? Like I'm making millions of dollars.
Right.
So
it makes sense too. And then you go to Miami, which is like this like booming development economy, all kinds of different advertisements he's probably a part of. It's you can't believe it. But here in this championship game, we have an Indiana Hoosiers team that has literally been irrelevant for over 100 years. I think 139 years is what Yahoo said.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big football guy, but like, if you had asked me a year ago, like, does the University of Indiana have a football program? I would be like, I've never heard of it.
Well, Zach, they do. And not only
139 years, you said?
139 years of being irrelevant.
Okay.
139
so no
years.
national championships. Do you know what other any?
I don't know. I think it just definitely means like no national championships.
And what league are they in?
But the Big Ten.
Okay.
Yeah, Big Ten. They've never won one of those either until this point.
Okay.
But I think I also read they literally have the record for most losses by a college football team.
Oh my gosh.
No one has done more losing in football than the Indiana team. And
I've never been more hopeful for San Diego State to win a national championship.
Hey, you know what? They're Pac-12. It's possible. It's possible. Well, this Indiana team, not only that, they're led by a quarterback who coming out of high school, I think was like a 2-star. So nothing special. He committed to Yale at first to play quarterback.
He's like, let me do one worse. Indiana.
So that goes to tell you what he thought about his future playing career when he committed to Yale out of high school.
Yale has a football team?
Exactly.
I mean,
at that time.
Okay.
Yale does have a football team.
Okay.
I could tell you nothing about it other than like it's Yale.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they probably actually play Quidditch and crush it in that.
Probably.
Yeah.
Used to be a great Christian school, but
yeah. So he committed to Yale, but ended up going to Cal.
Okay.
Cal Berkeley, played there for a couple of years and then transferred to Indiana. This is his first year at Indiana. Year at Indiana, led them. I think the most games he's won in college were like 6-5, 2 seasons in a row.
Wow.
And then comes to Indiana, 16-0. Literally hasn't been done, I believe, since like the 80s or something like that.
Yeah, it's
maybe
crazy.
even earlier. I honestly can't. I need to look that up, but it's been a long time since there's been a truly full undefeated season.
And do you know what were one or two of their biggest games of the season that were?
Oh man, well, I mean, their biggest games.
I mean, the playoffs they had to go through Oregon,
Ohio State. Or no, sorry, not Ohio State. They went through Alabama and Oregon.
Wow.
Like, and
Yeah,
Oregon
Titans.
has been, and Oregon's been the opposite. Oregon has been nothing but relevant.
Yeah.
Except for winning titles, but like they have always been in the national championship picture for the last 20 years. So they defeated an Oregon. We all know who Alabama is, but they made Alabama look like a bunch of high school players.
Yeah, they crushed them.
I was watching them roll over these guys.
Wow. Rolling Tide.
But the thing about it is, like, not only are they're an underdog story from like the history of it, but also they were smashing teams all year. Like they had a couple of close games that they won, but then it came to the playoffs and they just looked like it was just going to be the favorites.
Yeah.
But they still had my side because you watch them and they were a disciplined team all the way from the running backs. Like the running backs were happy to get 4 yards every single play. They weren't, it wasn't really, you didn't get a sense of like, this is about us.
Yeah.
About me. It's about us.
Yeah. Yeah. And the big story or origin of the story, from my understanding, pretty ignorant understanding, but is the coach.
Oh yeah.
Right. Is that kind of what the shift was 3 or 4 years ago? He gets hired.
He gets hired in 2024. They took a picture of it. His opening game in August in 2024, the stands were practically empty.
Yeah.
And 2 years later, they're winning a national championship.
And who is he? I mean, do you know where he's coached?
The best I can give you is that his dad, well, he started off at West Virginia. Yeah. So his dad was a coach. His dad's actually a Hall of Fame coach, but his career started off pretty bad. He got a head coaching job at West Virginia, got fired after 4 years.
Wow.
And then he went D2, and then he was in D2, became a legend in D2 football.
Okay.
But it says like he got into his 50s. He's like, I don't want to be a 50-year-old assistant coach my whole life. So he took a job with Nick Saban at Alabama as a recruiter and receivers coach.
Okay.
And so he's actually a part of that
prior to 2024. Before
exactly. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So he's been in Alabama.
Yep. Then he took that job.
And they were like 3-13 or something.
I think. Yeah. They were disgustingly awful. Yeah.
Wow.
They were like, who would have ever imagined? But you got Mark Cuban, who's an alumni that.
Has anything been said as to how they attracted the talent, or is it mainly developed talent? How do you go from that bad to this good?
I think a big part of their testimony is he had his experience in recruiting. So he was known for out recruiting people, spotting talent that that others may have passed on because it's not as flashy. And you could just tell by the way they play. The kind of guys that he brought in were guys that like had like maybe aren't like absolutely the best, but like they're willing to work the hardest.
Yeah.
And they're willing to be developed, and they have like the materials of a star athlete.
Yeah.
Like Fernando Mendoza, like Yale commit, then Cal, and then Indiana. Like he had to go deep into his like recruiting bag to like find him and say like, we're going to win a national championship with this guy.
Yeah.
Got some offensive linemen, one of them, their leaders from Notre Dame from last year. So he was on a championship team.
All right.
And I know like Mark Cuban is bankrolling a lot of their
gets out of the Mavericks. He's like, hey, I can't help myself.
There's a lot of money in college, like, cause it's it's
probably
a forever,
more.
It's a forever commitment. It's a forever commitment.
I mean, I honestly I would imagine college football brings in more money than the NBA.
It's possible. Yeah, that's a good thing to look into.
Yeah, I guess it's not as international, but I mean, it's
just the thing about it is that like college sport. It's like even if you were just like a civil engineer at Indiana, like, but you don't like football, but you know your alma mater is in the national championship. And then like some boosters call you and say like, hey, like, can you contribute a couple $1,000s?
Yeah.
Like
in those stadiums, I mean, we're talking often 80,000 people.
Yeah. Yeah, at least.
I mean, NBA stadium. I think the biggest NBA stadium is under 30,000.
Right. So you got the sales, you got the marketing.
Yeah, I mean less games, but they're a big deal.
Yeah, yeah. But alumni donations are a big thing too. I mean, you even got like older alumni that will die and sign off life insurance policies to these schools, dude. So
topic for another day. Do not do that.
But yeah, no, like I'm saying is like there's a certain level of commitment like in these alma maters.
Yeah,
that's where it comes from. But what it made me think about, like, you know, from a Christian worldview is like you just can't generate these stories. Like we like all these different, I know we've had like all kinds of waves of like gambling probes and stuff like that that's happening, but like these stories of up and comers just like down and out, just completely stink, coming all the way to the top, like just to create this kind of message. Like, we can't write those on our own.
Yeah, and the transcendent understanding that this is a good story. You know, I don't track football much, so I haven't tracked this particular story a ton.
Yeah.
But what I have seen over and over is that this is one of the best stories in college football history, even NCAA history. So this reveals an understanding across all men everywhere. There is such thing as good stories, and there's such thing as bad stories. Take note, Disney and most other producers of story these days don't know how to write good stories anymore.
How do you think Disney would have wrote this story?
I mean, oh my gosh.
Who
completely trashed it.
Who would have been the main character?
Completely trashed it. Would not have been a white coach with a white quarterback.
Oh, definitely not.
Wouldn't. I mean, maybe not even a male.
Yeah. No, it probably would have for sure been.
There'd have to be a lead female somewhere.
Yes,
like
easily.
Like, offensive coordinator.
Yeah. Probably like a female analyst that like kept trying to give the data to the head coach, and like it was just getting turned down, and it was like her idea that saved the game for sure. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Victim of something.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah. But that's not how the story went. And the real transcendent nature that everyone loves is the underdog story, the grit, the discipline. Going from a nobody to a somebody is part of a capitalistic American vision for what is a good story. Something that University of Indiana is actually a socialist institution where they're taking government money and funneling it together and they're not unique in that. All the public schools are, and even pretty much the private schools too. But it highlights a very unique transcendent pull in all of us, that we love this story, that this is the story that sells, this is the story that we can promote, and that we expect much traction on. There will probably be a documentary on this season, right? And people will love it, and I would say they should love it. It's a good story. There is such thing as good stories, and therefore there is such thing as bad stories, and we need to be able to discern what makes a good story good and vice versa. And there's a lot of glory to this story of overcoming great difficulties, persevering, keeping a vision, believing that you can actually improve upon where you've been, that you're not a victim to what you inherited. You're not a victim to what you the situation you find yourself in. You're not a victim to the rich Alabama or the rich other school or the rich other school, right? It's like, no, you take the talent. And I'm sure Indiana has a good budget and they're spending lots of money, right? So there's a general scope, right, of competition that we're talking about. But this is all D1 schools.
But they still had to drum up the investment into that, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like
they had to pull a lot of strings and say, hey, you got to believe in us.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even though for 139 years we've been trash.
Right. Imagine this, like, and Mark Cuban's not like an easy sales pitch.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen Shark Tank?
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's not like they could have just came in there with anything and said, hey, Mark, like, throw a bunch of money at this. I promise we're going to be better.
And I'd be surprised if they're still not significantly underfunded compared to a lot of the top dogs.
Yeah.
So these common excuses that if you're rich, you have inevitable sway and power. If you are a victim of a certain situation, you can't overcome it, and that you need to the only way for you to overcome it is to force everyone to come lower as opposed to you just rising.
So then why are the Padres fans listening to you speak? Because where are they at when it's baseball time?
Hey,
where's all this chatter
I don't
at
mind the Dodgers
when it comes to
spending.
baseball time? Because
I think the
this
Padres
is not anything that I hear from any of all the Padres
Hey,
fans around here in San Diego.
Not me.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
I
good
don't
with
know,
them
man.
spending. I don't really.
You're literally the only. Like, I have not heard a single Padres fan, and obviously I'm around a lot. That's okay with what the Dodgers are doing.
It is a bummer that our owner died. Okay, I think he was ready to try and keep up with the Dodgers, or the Joneses of LA, but he can't, and we can't. We're selling the team, so I'm hoping that the owner of the Warriors buys it and throws some big coin at it.
That'd be fun.
Yeah,
that'd be a lot
we're
of
talking
fun.
about a championship owner. As long as he's going to keep the team here, which he would be foolish not to do. There's arguably the most buy-in of a local team here, especially in not a major market.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, that we'll see who buys it and what comes of it as far as further player investment.
Yeah.
And we've invested a lot of money. We're 6th or 7th in the MLB for highest payroll. And I think they do a good job developing talent, and we have a great team. I mean, even with Kyle Tucker, people making a big deal of him. I mean, objectively, pretty much by every metric, our outfield is still better. And I think that just highlights, again, Padres fans should stop complaining. It's like we have a very good outfield.
Right.
We have 2 legitimate superstars, and then Laureano, who ended up being our best hitter last year on the team. So we have a better outfield by basically every metric, which, again, I'm just doing outfield to outfield with Tucker. And, infield is the Dodgers, I'd say, probably have a generally better infield, but it's competitive. Like we're talking about, I mean, the unique unicorn, right, is Ohtani.
Yeah.
And some of the pitching, but even our bullpen is better. Your guys' starting pitching is better. It's so... Yeah, I mean, both teams are putting a lot of money out there, and they're both putting together quality winning teams.
And that's the thing is, like, at the end of the day, we're all in the MLB.
Yeah, in the by far hardest division of the NL West. So part of the reason the Dodgers are spending so much money is because the Padres have gotten so much better.
Yeah,
it's not. They don't want to give up their dynasty, and it's not a given anymore. The Padres are no longer akin to the Colorado Rockies. So. Right. It's like, hey, yeah, if the Dodgers didn't spend the money they did, even just on a few players, if they don't have Ohtani last year, honestly, they probably don't win the championship.
Yeah, no, there's no way.
And the Padres, not saying they would have won the championship, but when they played each other in the playoffs,
they wouldn't have won the championship. Yeah, I mean,
wow.
We all know that's the we all know that's the case.
It wouldn't be Canada. So,
but the narrative at the end of the day, like what God is trying to tell us through all of this story is like, stop complaining.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
They're like, the complaining is not going to get you anywhere, and the griping and looking over at, oh, look at what they have, and look at where God has placed me, and the card, the hand that I just got dealt is this and that and every other. It's like, it's like, where does that actually get you?
Yeah, and sports in particular really should be destroying that as a culture. That's what sports are about. Is like, no, everyone's done their time. Everyone's done their sprints. Everyone's put in the grind,
especially at that level.
Yeah. So there is no, some people are genetically better. Some people had more money invested into it.
Sure.
But every one of these people were grinding.
Yeah.
And when everyone got onto the court or whatnot, regardless of some guys came out there with, used $20 sneakers they got at Goodwill, and other guys came out with the latest and greatest $300 sneakers. But if the expensive sneaker guy didn't grind on the court, he was not going to make it. He was not going to be a good.
Exactly.
Besides LeBron James' son, there is no giveaways at that level. So It's rare. You can buy it, all right, but that's the exception, not the rule.
It was earned, just not by him. It was earned by someone else.
That's true.
It was.
That's
it
actually
was.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a rich
It was
inheritance. Your inheritance is not just the
Yeah.
money, but the opportunity to play in the NBA.
Yeah. What is that? Federal headship is
I
what we
would
call
agree.
it
I would
around
agree
here.
with it, yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's just a little bit of federal headship. Somebody earned it. It wasn't him.
No, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, we're talking a lot about like consuming and analyzing these sports, but
Mhm.
you were making a great point earlier offline before we got started about how important it is for us to be participants as well. And not just sitting there and consuming. So what led you to wanting to address that? Like, what do you, I guess, is there something that we're seeing that we're leaning further and further into, or we've leaned so heavily into consuming that we need to actually get out there and play too and compete too and instill some of these values through sports?
Yeah, I think, you know, if you're listening to us, good question to ask yourself. Do you like sports because you actually just like to be entertained, or do you like sports because you like sports? And if you have no ability to associate or attach or refer to ways in which you are playing sport, right? You might not play college football, but if you don't enjoy throwing the football around with your friends or your son or some guys at the beach, it's like, do you like football or do you just like being entertained? And then I think you should draw a category distinction and say, I just like entertainment. I don't necessarily like football. Now, I like football as the means to my entertainment, but it's just a means to an end. I like to be entertained. And that's a very important distinction. Do you like sports? Because sports have a certain value. We have the sports podcast because we believe there's a lot of value in sports. Yeah. And this is a distinction that we make probably more subtly in our podcast, but it's very important. Are you just looking for more entertainment, or are you looking to receive the gift from God that sport is, any kind of sport,
like the learning lessons?
Oh, yeah, the fitness, getting your heart rate up.
Yeah,
the blessing of teamwork, of discipline, of overcoming things. I mean, all the things we've been talking about and are going to continue to talk about in sport that really are graces to us. They're helpful training grounds for so much virtue.
Yeah, you have to have. There's like fundamental levels of virtue that you must have in order to reach the pinnacles of the greats. And
even just make it through a basic season on your like
that too. Yeah,
your like 10-year-old team.
That's true.
You know, I mean, the kid who does not have any virtue is not going to really be welcomed back at the end of the year, or at least the other kids are going to think, yeah, I hope that kid doesn't re-up.
Right.
He wasn't a good teammate. He was always complaining. True. You know, he doesn't help pick things up. He's not into it when we're doing well. He's all about himself, right? I mean, these are basic that we understand are objective. They're transcendent. These are objective moral realities. Yeah. That kid is selfish. Well, by what standard is he selfish? I mean, as a Christian podcast, so we know the standard. God wrote it onto our hearts that there is a standard of morality, and sport reveals our sin. It reveals our corruption, and it helps us develop our character, Lord willing, for good intentions.
Yeah, I'm currently coaching at the pinnacle level of kindergartners in flag football.
Hey, I'll start somewhere.
But you know, thinking at that level, I was like, man, I've played against other coaches who just get too far ahead of the game. Like they're just trying to do way too much with these little kids. And I keep it really simple with these kids. And I tell them, look, there's 3 basic rules as you learn to have gratitude for this game that God has given us. And the first one is respect. You respect me, you respect your parents, you respect the referees.
It's good.
And that means listening with your eyes. You're not talking while I'm talking. So you're giving all of us respect. Number 2 is to play hard. Whenever you're out on the field, like we're always running, we're always going fast. We're not taking anything off. If we're on the field, we're giving it everything that we have. Even if we mess up, we're going as hard as we can. And I said, number 3, have fun. Like it's a gift.
Yeah.
We don't have to be playing this. Like we could be doing We can be like the kids that are slaves in Persia that are just making bricks
A million
all day
worse
long.
things.
Yes, there's so many different things that we can be doing. And so I keep it boiled down to those 3 things. And I found that when I run a play, if we didn't run it, it's because a kid didn't respect me. They didn't listen to what I said. They were doing their own thing. Or they got their flag pulled, or they didn't get this, like, well, you weren't running hard. You didn't play hard. So it all falls underneath those 3 categories. And then look, at the end of the day, if you respected me and you played hard, like, the fun is there.
Yeah.
The fun is there to be had.
Yeah.
So we've had a lot of success. We're undefeated 2 seasons in a row.
Easy.
We're like the opposite of Indiana right now.
Yeah. This is what's that high school in California that had the
Modern Day probably or something? Or?
That was like 12 seasons in a row. Pastor Ronnie was on that team as a quarterback.
Oh yeah.
There's a movie made off them.
Yeah, they're up north. Oh,
anyway, that's your future.
Yeah,
I see it.
You know, the kid. I might just stay at the kindergarten level, dude.
Yeah.
I'll just be, I'll be like the farming.
Hey, they're gonna start recruiting though. They're gonna be like, hey man, I see what you can do with. I see what you do with the kindergartners. Like, I got some 3rd graders. There's some like great ice pops at the 3rd grade games.
Yeah,
Yeah. Ice pops, maybe even some Jersey Mikes every once in a while. Like, the perks are real.
NIL deals at kindergarten, dude. I'm down. I would definitely take a Jersey Mike's payment to coach one of these teams.
Oh yeah.
Dude. Easily.
But back to the sport, just as an encouragement to anyone listening, just we have this not as an entertainment podcast. This is a sport podcast. We want to encourage you to go participate in sport. The apostle says bodily training is of some value. So go get after it. Receive that gift as a grace from God. We talk about a lot of the virtues of sport, so you can redeem even things that maybe are of this much value. I think in Christ we can bring up that value proposition big time.
Yeah.
And do that in your life. Whether it's buying a pair of running shoes and just starting to jog.
What are you into lately? What's your sport of late?
Well, I've ruptured both Achilles in the last 10 years, and yet I've been cycling on and off for the last 10 years. I really like cycling. Great sport. Great sufferfest. See things from a great perspective on the bike. Cover a lot of ground. But there is a great simplicity to running. And so I've just started to run again. A lot of motivations for that. A big one being something that we can do as a family, and that can just be a more widespread culture within our church, our school, community. It's just such a low bar of entry. Grabbing some running shoes. All that to say,
how far are we running? Like, what's the?
Well, at this point, I'm only running like 3 to 5 miles, but the goal is to bump it up to a marathon by the end of the year, with Lord willing an Ironman next year. So,
wow,
yeah.
As a guy that, if you can't see on the camera, I'm 260 pounds.
Hey, I wasn't that far behind you.
You say 3 to 5 miles is on like the low. That's the starting point.
That's just getting
you.
Started. Yeah,
dude, that takes me. I was telling you, it takes me back, dude. I just thinking about running a mile, which I play basketball, so I probably do like run a mile, like in a run or two or something like that. But it's just different because I'm distracted in other ways. But like just running, just running for 1 mile, I get like this churning in my stomach. So I know you're aiming for this culture of running, but I just don't know.
Yeah, you're gonna join. You're gonna be doing a triathlon by the end of the year.
I'll have the clock at the finish line, dude. Like,
we're gonna need to
pick it up.
Yeah,
that'll be me. But man, it takes me all the way back to middle school, dude. That was the reason why like I hated basketball. I loved basketball, but I hated basketball practice because you have to run. Like it's not like playing offensive line in football. It's like all we had to do was sprint. Like it was only sprinting. But basketball, it's a longevity sport. Like you have to run a long distance. So whenever Coach Stumler from Bloomington Christian School, dude,
God bless him,
school, man,
still in your nightmares.
Just get on the line.
Yeah.
Oh, we used to do these Indian runs, and then we have these jerk.
And that's where you gotta go up to the front, right?
Line, you're in the line, and
get
someone
to the
has
back.
to run
You got
to
to
the
sprint to the front.
you.
Yeah,
and then you always have
a fast kid up there, and you're like you're trying to catch
the
up.
Fast kid wants to show off.
Oh, I want to see a video of Lamar running from the back to the front.
Oh my gosh, I used to be so mad. I used to be so mad suffering.
And were you always a big kid?
I've always been a big kid. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably since like I remember being skinny in 2nd grade.
Okay.
Ever since
From there
then, it's been
on.
nothing but thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing but thick. Well, I lost a bunch. I got down to like 215 after college.
Oh,
like,
wow.
Shortly, yeah. So I dropped a bunch of weight then, but yeah,
215s. That's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
lean coming from 260.
no, I was very lean. Yeah, I was
Wow.
very lean, and that was coming from 290. So I've
Wow.
gone back up.
I've always wondered, is O-line, are they like feeding you food on the sideline? They're like, hey, don't even think about running. Like, I get why you're having a little bit of a panic attack. Me talking about running right now. Like D1 O-line for 4 years, right?
Yeah, I mean, at that level, it's still like sprinting. Like the furthest that we've ever like really ran was like
10 yards.
50. We do like 53s. Like we do like, which is like sideways across the field.
Okay.
I think.
I want to go watch the O-line do those, dude.
Bro, it's some of the funny like
the complaints that would be coming through.
Bro, because you have guys that are like 6'4", 320.
Yeah.
Like, and some of these guys are chopping. You know what I mean? Like, but no, we weren't running very far.
The Providences. I mean, I tore both my Achilles. I'm thinking, like, how do these guys how do their tendons?
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. It's definitely Providence because you do also do like there was guys in college. I feel like they were always hurt. Like there was always something going on with them. And at the time, I didn't quite have the understanding of Providence. I'm just like, bro, stop getting hurt. But now that's not all.
There's a short window when you're that young where God designed the body to be pretty strong and resilient. But
yeah.
I imagine
there were some guys that were
bodies...
milking though. There were some guys that would like they'd be hurt every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but they're healthy on Thursday to play on Saturday. You know, like that.
We're doing the sprints today. Nah, man.
Not
today.
The hammies just
it's a sore, coach.
But yeah, no, we had to eat. I don't know. I was probably consuming at least 5,000 calories because I still was working out and like had to gain weight. I was trying to gain weight.
And that's such an interesting thing about endurance sports now that I've transitioned to more long endurance.
Yeah.
You have to eat so much.
Yeah.
Michael Phelps, part of the
remember
sport.
Michael Phelps' diet?
Yeah, it was like 9,000 calories.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just burning so many calories. I mean, if I go on a bike ride for 2-3 hours, I mean, you're easily burning 2,000-3,000 calories. If you're not like working hard to put that back in your system, you're going to die out.
Yeah.
You're going to be exhausted after, and your performance is going to lack. Whereas if you're consuming those calories you eat right before and during, I mean, a normal cyclist or endurance athlete at this point is consuming usually 100, sometimes 150 grams of carbs an hour.
Huh.
I mean, you're talking.
That makes sense.
Almost full meals, but in liquid carbs or bars, gels.
Makes sense. Yeah. Because I am a carb animal on the days that I play basketball. I can't get enough of it. I can't help it. All right. So so this has been a thing for you for how long have you been like really locking in on this?
I mean, we had our 5th kid in December, and a few months prior to that, my 5 kids, man. I mean, I'm already a fat dad. Like I'm gonna not gonna be able to do anything with my grandkids if I don't get after it.
Bro, dad bod, like that's the
I was rocking a strong dad bod, not strong in the good ways of strong. So I was like, I should actually have a strong dad bod.
Yeah,
and there's no excuse.
So we need to change what the definition of dad bod is.
Yeah, push the tempo.
Yeah,
Paul says, act like men, be strong, and I was like, I'm not that strong.
Yeah.
So
did you diet changing too, or?
Yeah. I'm down like 30 pounds since September.
30
January.
pounds.
Yeah, like 4 months.
Mean. Sheesh.
Yeah, I probably got like another good 10 pounds to go.
I felt a little extra energy in your sermons lately, dude.
Yeah. You see me getting up in that pulpit quicker.
Yeah. I saw you jump up there one time. Yeah. Like skip down.
I know. I haven't jumped in years.
Got a sheet of paper under you one time.
Hey,
dude.
when you tear 2 Achilles, you second guess every time you're gonna jump again. You're like, is that worth it?
Oh, I can't imagine. It's like, you don't even have a good one to lean on. It's just.
I know. Yeah, I mean, they're such unique injuries because you rarely have any warning signs. I mean, no tendinopathy, no Achilles pain, no calf pain, just snap.
Yeah.
But here we are. So,
well,
yeah, I'm thankful, and that's a big part of it. Of just receiving what we emphasize a lot on this podcast, receiving these opportunities with a grateful heart. Right, I'm still at an age, my body's capable, and even the good story of I've tore 2 Achilles. It's very tempting for me to be like, I'm not going to run.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do anything that would jeopardize this.
I'm not going to run.
Yeah, you're going to run. But to be able to like tell my kids like they're going to get injured, and me for like, if I can complete a marathon, let alone an Ironman, and when my kid gets injured, to be like, hey man, I tore both my Achilles. I have a torn meniscus right now.
Yeah.
Like, you can do it.
Yeah.
You can overcome.
Right.
You're gonna be good. And even just to encourage sheep in the church. Like everyone has different pains and aches. A lot of those are self-induced. And that's something I, just had to keep as a good athlete. You have to be honest with yourself. And
you like sugar too. Like when I met you,
I love sugar.
When I met you, you told me about your cereal dessert concoction, dude. I almost threw up
every day in college. I mean, every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah. So like, what was your thing? Was like you would take. Wouldn't you put like go Reese's get a bowl of in your Reese's cereal,
and then like you go to the. It was a buffet, really good food court at my college cafeteria. And I would grab, like, there'd be cake and brownies and cookies, like every single meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I would just either eat cereal with those on top, or I would just put a bowl and just treat that as my cereal. I'm talking like a full bowl. And then I would go to the chocolate milk dispenser.
Not the chocolate milk.
Just chocolate milk.
Bro,
and
you don't have diabetes?
And I used to regularly put syrup on that. Before Elf even came out, I used to put syrup on like everything. I'm like, why would you not put syrup on this?
So like you're watching the movie Elf with some friends and they're laughing at the kid.
Yes. I'm like, thank you.
What are we laughing about?
Oh, that's gross. I grew up in upstate New York. I've eaten a lot of spaghetti. I used to put syrup on my spaghetti.
Oh my God.
No joke.
Oh.
It wasn't like every time, right? Because you got to kind of be like Elf and like have maple syrup on you. Otherwise, most people are like, dude, what is wrong with you? Yeah. So I've eaten a lot of spaghetti without it, but in my own home, especially leftover spaghetti, I would often put syrup on it growing up.
Bro, wait. So like, if you're eating sugar like that, like, what are you doing? Like, how do you?
I mean, I was so active as a kid.
Sure.
Well,
like it builds up a natural like addiction. I don't want to. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I mean, I went and got blood work last year because I was like, I'm in my 30s. I haven't done a test like this in a while.
Uh-huh.
I was great across the board. And that was before I lost any weight or was doing anything. So I'm like, should eat more syrup. So I'm like, well, okay. Then I'll pick endurance sports where you actually should eat cookies while you're biking, because you just really need sugar, simple carbs.
Yeah.
And so I still eat a lot of dessert. But at this point, my main diet is that I treat carbs like direct fuel. So I eat mainly protein, and then I'll have carbs if I'm going to exercise. I don't really eat carbs outside of exercise.
Okay.
Although important distinction and rule as Christians, especially in a diet culture, that I think is important, is that I don't turn down people's meals or hospitality. So what I will then do, like if I go to someone's home and they made pasta, I'm going to eat the pasta and I'm going to eat a second portion of it out of honor and respect, and I mean, we have fantastic cooks at our church. I'm
on board with that rule.
So I eat that, right? But I'm like, if that's what the dinner was, I'm going to exercise the next day differently. Like I'm going to burn those carbs. I'm going to treat those carbs as fuel. So, or I might do a little bit extra fasting. So I mainly eat protein, some fats, and then I consume carbs because I do exercise most days, but it's really like 2 hours before I exercise, a little bit more 30 minutes before, then while I'm doing it. When I say exercise endurance sports, I'm talking 1 to 3 hours of straight exercise. And then I don't have carbs the rest of the day. So, but again, if I go to someone's home, like we have rich meal trains. When you have a child, we had a child in December, so people are bringing us meals. Like I always eat the food. I enjoy the food. I'm never gonna, I'm not gonna
send your list of macros to the meal train list. Like, hey, look, I need this many grams of protein.
Yeah. If someone reaches out day of and they're like, "What do you guys want?" Then we just say like anything that's meat heavy. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, it could be burgers, like it could be chicken, it can be anything, and we're not like my kids, they eat like me, and I've always kind of ate this way a little bit, but now I'm like pretty dialed in about it. So like, honestly, my kids, and I'm trying to train them out of this a little bit, like when we're at people's homes, but say someone makes burgers or hot dogs, like they will not eat the bun.
Oh,
they only want the meat. All of them. And I'm like, I eat buns. Like, it's not like, but they have it. They do not want breads. They only like potatoes in French fry form. They will not eat any potatoes in any other form.
Potatoes.
So they're
French fry
they're
form,
very
please,
much
or I
like
won't
me. And
touch
I have thought that I've really tried to disciple them into a proper view of this. But like, they love cereal, they love sweets, and then they like French fries, and basically no breads. Which I don't really eat bread either.
Yeah.
So I think it's just from growing up and seeing dad.
Yeah,
be like,
you just inherit.
Like, if we go to In-N-Out, I get a 4x4, but with lettuce wrap, and then I get French fries, animal style.
Yep.
The 404 is animal style, but I'm like, the bread just doesn't do much for me.
Yeah. You need to get your talking to a fat guy here. In-N-Out. Since you said that,
I want some In-N-Out right now.
Since you said that, forget the animal style. You need to get a whole grilled onion on there.
What do you mean a whole grilled? I mean, I asked for grilled onions.
No. They slice that grilled onion. Like, so you know how you cut your onion in half.
So you say, I want a whole grilled onion.
It's a whole round, like all the rings exist.
Amazing.
And they grill it.
Oh, yeah, I want
and
that.
then they slap that on there.
I might get that on the way home.
Do you like spice?
Yeah.
They can put the chopped
banana peppers?
Yes, in your burger. If you ask for it spicy.
So I usually grab a few of them, I bite off the end, and I squirt the juice.
They'll put that in there for you. You don't have to get all messy like that, dude.
That's amazing.
They'll put it in there for you if you ask for it spicy.
Oh, gosh.
And if you're really trying to get creative with a little bit of pizzazz, get you some cold cheese on there. It sounds weird. Changes the whole flavor of the burger, though. I know. I said this. I made the same face. But maybe on your second time around, get the whole grill with the spicy.
I'm gonna try
but then on the next time around,
what's gonna be a great burger first, and then like maybe in a few years,
and then take a little.
Want to give up a good meal
in a few years. I'm telling you. I mean, you don't get this big because you're just like not thinking about how you're gonna make the best meal.
I can't
possible.
wait though to see you run the next 5K our church is gonna do.
I've ran a 5K. I've done that. You said a full marathon though, didn't you?
Yeah, by the end of the year. But you're going to start with a 5K soon.
Yeah. I can run a 5K.
Do a little
like this.
CSPN. We'll get some CSPN shirts on.
Dude, I can run a 5K like this. I can do that. But you said full marathon.
Yeah, I mean, we'll build up to it.
See,
I mean, hey, I'm the only run. I'm not running very far yet, so
yeah.
But I'm doing 10% progression. I just don't want to rupture an Achilles this early in there.
But I don't plan on running from anybody. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, me either. I'm running from anybody. I'm running from my fat self. That's what I'm running from.
Oh man, I know we didn't get to everything today, but
yeah,
I think this will bless the listeners for sure.
Yeah, Lord willing. Yeah, get after it. Go enjoy some sport. Enjoy sport with family and friends. And when you're consuming entertainment, try and appreciate the sport partially by actually participating in the sport somehow. And then if you're going to consume entertainment, I think this is just to put a little bow on that section. That's okay. But make sure your life is not boiling down to just being entertained all the time, especially with something as joyous as sports. In something you can go like there is a sport that I think every person would enjoy participating in.
Yeah.
And it's going to be different. Pickleball, walks, runs, swimming, surfing, snow. Like there's so many sports.
It's accessible.
It's amazing.
We have the Paralympics. So
yeah. So just go participate, be disciplined. Don't just participate as a form of entertainment. Don't just go do it until the pain sets in and you're like, I don't really. No. This is like go participate.
Tear both of your Achilles.
Yes. The virtues of sport. Go receive them from the hand of God as a grace. Do it with friends, do it with family, build those physical muscles, but build those spiritual muscles of good character, appreciate good stories, and whatever your story is, make it a better story this year.
Yeah.
Like everyone listening has some kind of element to the story of injury. Everyone has something right now that they think is a goal that they'd be like, no way. I'm way past that. And that's part of why I was like, yeah, I'm just going to do a marathon, dude. I'm going to try and do a marathon. Again, I'm not a prophet. Yeah. I'm going to discipline myself. To me, if you would have said a marathon up until like 2 months ago, I'd be like, dude, you're insane. I would never do a marathon. I don't think I've ever ran more than like 8 miles in my life.
Yeah.
So part of it is just the discipline and appreciating the, Romans 5, suffering. We rejoice in our sufferings because suffering produces endurance. Endurance produces character. Character produces hope. So use sport to that end to actually build your character. We live in a very prosperous, free society, and therefore we need to go out of our way to work hard, stay disciplined, stay healthy. Otherwise, we're just often becoming the dystopian prophecy of WALL-E, where we're just being entertained to death and not amounting to anything. So, some final words, but Lord willing, we'll be back here at CSPN. There's always good sports talk to be had, good things going on. If you guys ever want us to talk about something in particular, put them in the comments.
Yeah. Add it to the comments. Most people know us personally. Shoot us a text.
Yeah.
You know who we are. You know where to find us.
Yeah. I mean, not like the few million other people that listen, but
we don't want to hear from them anyway. Just the people that are in our circle.
And I don't want to lose the sponsorship, but all transgender athletes have sponsored this episode.
Yes.
Title IX sponsored this episode.
Disney, ABC.
Bud Light sponsored this episode. There's a number. Gavin Newsom purposely reached out.
Yeah.
And he said, I really appreciate what you guys are doing on this podcast and just how you push for all the things I stand for.
Yeah.
So,
let's keep those sponsorships up.
Yeah. It's so much money. I would hate to lose it. But
thanks for tuning into CSPN. We'll see you next time.